section that we're going to look at here is going to be the line of credit section. And I'm going to illustrate the line of credit in relationship to the cash balance analysis side, because that's really where we make our changes, and we can actually see the results and identify where stress is, and we can see where our stress points are in the upcoming weeks and what latitude we have to move things around to do so, to adjust for it. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to turn on the data entry cells. So we know, again, in the cash flow section, the cash analysis, we have the week ending date, we have our beginning cash balance, and then we have our either borrowings or payments on our line of credit. So that's where we actually do our data entry for the line of credit. The only three entries we really make on the line of credit is whatever the beginning balance is on the line of credit, what our limit is. In this case, it's $1 million, and we're going to have a warning limit, meaning that if in this case it's 70%, and if I get to a point where we are using 70% or more of the line of credit, I want it to highlight in a red color, as in this last week, that we're getting close to our upper limits. So that 70% limit is my comfort level, and it's identified by me, and I can plug in whatever number I choose there. And if I were to choose it to be 50%, then I would see the areas that actually show up as going over 50% of what my available line of credit is. Now, as we enter information, there is a couple of things that are going to happen. So let's really stress the line of credit and see what happens. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to borrow in week 5, I'm going to borrow $400,000. And what we're going to see is two things happen. Obviously, my cash balance goes up, and it goes up far more than really what I need to. But in illustrating this, we can see each one of these balances, based on the plan that I have, is above my comfort level. And if I happen to go over what my credit limit is, it will actually turn red and identify me, give me a warning signal that I really need to pay attention to this, because that's not something that the bank is going to allow me to do, is to go over my credit limit. So that means that I need to change what I'm doing. So in this case, I have too much cash, so I may not borrow anymore. So I'll zero this out in week 13, and I get to keep my balances in line. Now, if I happen to pay down $400,000 on my line in week 11, you can see that I've identified my stress points as between weeks 5 and week 10 as to where I'm starting to get up on my line of credit. So we have these conditional formatting features in here that allow us to see what's going on and how it happens. Now, if I were in week 11 to actually pay more, and if I would have put in $700,000 as a payment, now my line balance will go down, but my cash has gone negative. So again, balancing these things together is what makes it easy to have these indicators that jump right out at you and tell you exactly where your stress points are.